taking his baton and beat his ass. Fucking dick, tell me his line.
So how many officers moved in? What time?
Well, so I got here at 5. And at that point, the head count on the officers on the street was 48. And the people, the occupiers on this side of the street were 26. So they had ordered people out of the camp at 3:30. So some people may have left at that point. A lot of the permitted tents belong to combat veterans, folks from the first Gulf War and the current wars, and with the cops dressed like this, it can't be easy for them to live through this.
When you forget that, you have my lives. And what was that prison that George Bush set up? You forgot already. Well, Guantanamo we've had for many years. I've been there. The one in Iraq. Bagram, that's the airbase. This is the start, and no one knows where the frickin' tipping point is. No one knows how this is going to go down. It could just fluff away.
Who's the one with the tasers? Who's the one with the pepper spray? Who's the ones with the batons? Obviously, they're the ones that want to be violent. They're the ones who want to riot. Exactly, so they're being sheep. All in conversation with pieces, so when we read it. All right,
right. 4 or 5, I think. I heard the hell.
And the fact that they're here is a lot
will be brought to bear, and you'll be suspended. That's what's been happening, and that's what will happen here. And that's not even the big picture. That's the small picture as it pertains to you.
Obviously, they don't care about our rights, your rights, their rights, anybody's rights.
Each one of you guys has a choice.
Millions and millions of people out of work on the streets, people with skills.
I know your guys'
people are productive members of this society. Their jobs have been shipped off to China. Those are the people that you're standing up against right now. That's what's going on right now. In case you haven't heard, who your so-called enemies are.
Could I get your badge number, please?
Tanya, we already have his badge number.
Okay.
I didn't know this gentleman 4 weeks ago.
Certainly is a great use of our tax dollars, isn't it? Boy, look at all these violent protesters.
We need another one more.
Sean's doing all right. I'm gonna need therapy after this.
So I won't be able to afford it.
Legal, in terms of the 1%, this is illegal and they're enforcing it. So it gives us a chance to be opposed to it.
Right, exactly.
But it should be expected. We should not be surprised.
This is what we've been waiting for this whole time. Absolutely, absolutely. That's why I'm here.
They're enforcing laws that they don't want to keep us from getting at the 1%. So it's.
Here we are. Where is everybody else?
What I'd like to know is the 1% paying for the all the overtime and the
they don't pay taxes.
Oh, that's right. So
you're defending the elite who don't pay taxes against the public who pays taxes, using our money to defend the people who don't pay taxes. That's what's going on, right? Right? Yeah. That's what's going on, right? We're paying for our own incarceration, and we're paying you guys to stand here and tell us we can't go somewhere to defend the people who don't pay taxes, right? You know that, right?
So you guys are getting a lot on the property? A lot on our property.
What's going on in your head, sir? You got those wild eyes that make me nervous. Do you always look like that?
They've been drilled about this.
Oh yeah, they probably get screamed at and all that. Yeah. It's not exactly what you expected, is it? Not exactly.
Sitting at a table with
not
you
exactly what you were
Officer
warned about, is
Okay,
it?
guys, listen up. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to go and open up the streets. We're going to open up City Hall area. Here's what we're going to expect. We want everybody to go ahead and understand that we're going to follow the city ordinance. So if anybody sets up camps, they're going to be arrested.
Okay.
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 Okay. They can protest. That's fine. If we set up any type of food stations, that type of thing, structures, all right, that's going to be a violation of the ordinance. People are going to be arrested. We want you to be able to come on over here, assemble freely, right? We're going to have officers on site, okay? We expect you to stay out of permitted tents there, all right? Even if you say they're their friend, we don't know that because we have permits for those people specifically, right?
They're invited.
You don't get to stay in somebody's tent, all right? It's permitted folks only who have the ability to camp here until the 30th.
Can I ask
all right?
one question? What happens when the permits expire?
Everybody's going to be required to leave.
Thank you.
By what means
Thank
required?
you. Any means necessary.
Okay, there'll
Let's
be
let him say that.
all right. So on the 30th, once those expire, then it'll be a violation of the ordinance. All right, if those permits aren't renewed, all right, or 647E of the Penal Code. Okay, we're hoping people can go ahead and protest freely there. It's just going to be without camping at this point.
I have one final question. Were all of these Santa Rosa Police Department, or were they extras?
The police and sheriff.
Police and sheriff. Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
We're trying to get y'all.
I saw gas cannons.
Okay, what you saw is probably correct.
And how many officers were deployed?
I have no idea.
Who's in charge of this operation?
You can talk to the press information officer. It's Lieutenant Schwartz.
Schwartz? And where is he?
He'll be at the police department shortly.
Okay.
You have a phone number, sir?
I don't. Okay, so if you give us a few minutes, we're going to go ahead and we're going to allow you to come on back onto the property. Again, it's going to be in orderly fashion. Also, if people are in violation of their permits, dogs, alcohol, whatever is on their permit, if they're in violation, we will revoke the permits. Okay? It's that simple. Okay? Alrighty. Hang tight for a few and then we'll go get these roads clear, okay?
Alright.
Alright. Did somebody have a permit that wanted to check in?
I have a permit.
What's your step over with me?
Officer Shelley, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, let me talk to them real quick. Remember your numbers.
October 15th, when the event went on, he didn't seem too happy about it. But the other two that we met up with seemed to be okay with it and actually nice.
Ray? Yep. Leave a couple guys here. Yeah, we'll break the barricades down. Just take them down.
Isn't it good to see that young thugs can still get employment?
Any violations of the permits at this point, we'll go ahead and revoke those permits.
You said that was like alcohol dogs.
Yeah, there's a whole list of items that they have to follow, and it's all the public safety and health and safety concerns that we have.
And what else? What were you telling me about this morning?
Not so much about this morning.
I mean, but about from now on, from here on out. Obviously the barricade's down.
Yeah. So here on out, if there's folks that decide to camp, they can be subject to arrest through the city ordinance or a penal code section. We'll go ahead and arrest them. At this point, we hope it's going to be voluntary compliance that they're not going to. We want them to go ahead and protest here as they have a right to, but they're not going to have a right to camp.
So what did you say about the food stuff?
So we're not going to allow them to set up food tents, medical centers, anything that appears that they're going to be habitating.
So if somebody tries to do that, you'll arrest them?
Yeah.
What would the charge be?
It'll be either for the city ordinance section or it'll be for 647E of the penal code.
Illegal
camping, essentially, habitation on public property.
And then a few of you are going to remain here for a while? Or?
Yeah, just a maintenance issue.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you want to walk, come over here. I'll show you an image of the Christ with the golden belt, the hand of God, the 4 horses, the child, the lady, the servant's supposed to devour the child. Stuff millions of years old. Well, I've been on this property 2 years waiting, over 2.5 years waiting for this to happen.
So, because a lot of these people have lost everything today, and it's like property damage from one perspective, but it's, I don't know.
Well, I can be very unconscious of things. Yeah, I can have some on my mind.
This area money because our schools are bankrupt and we're letting go of teachers left and right. It's ironic that that is going on because they're blocking us from being able to speak out against that. That's the rough thing. I mean, the Sonoma County Office of Education, how much money did they get, you know, in grants from the federal government? Probably not as much as in the 90s. So what about that? We want to address that. We want to talk about an amendment to the Constitution to, anyway, we want to talk about, we have a lot of things to do, and it's sad that, you know, most media isn't picking up on the pulse. They don't have their finger on the pulse of this movement, and you know, it's really sad because we have issues with a lot of the stuff going on today. We have a lot of, you know, they're populist issues that everybody, not just Democrats, not just Republicans, are dealing with right now. We're facing major financial collapse. Look at Europe. Look at Greece.
So were you in a tent this morning when they came?
No, I was at home with my kids because I'm sick, and I got the call at 5 o'clock this morning, and I wish I got the call at 3:30 because I would have been there. And I got here, and Sonoma County was Sonoma. They're in on it. Sonoma Avenue and Mendocino was blocked off. Santa Rosa Avenue was blocked off. I love how it's backwards.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing about transforming consciousness. You know, you got to turn.
We got to look in the mirror.
You got to turn things upside down a little bit first. Upside down and inside out.
Oh, you brought tea again.
Here for some tea?
Well, okay, the police did their job. We moved to a different corner. It looks like we're spreading.
They were very efficient about doing their job today.
Yeah, but you know, now we're on more than one corner. They shouldn't have done that. If they would have made no fuss, we would have stayed right there, but now we have to go other places.
Where you going?
It's better to herd kittens than sheep.